Right, so continuing on, First Corinthians 7. Where was I? I was just at circumcision is nothing, and uncircumcision is something. Let every man abide in the same calling wherein he was called. Were you a slave, or were you free? Let not that trouble you. For he who has a slave is summoned to the union. The Lord is a freedman. Just he who has called was free when he has just called a bondservant. So at that moment where you decided to make this walk, come as you are, he freed you at that moment for a reason. You know, some people have been in the church for many years. They've known not to do certain things. Some of us haven't. Some people have come to this truth in jail. Some people have come to this truth from friends. Some people have come to this truth through spouses. Whoever you are, however you were, now you're in this truth. That's your fresh start. Sometimes you've got to, when on this journey, some point in this journey, you're going to find out why. Just like Paul was called, he was snatched and he was made prisoner. He was a murderer at the time. He was having Christians killed, you know. But Yahushua used him, convicted him, used him. Because he had very good use for him. The dude spoke many languages. He knew the Bible inside out. He was a Pharisee. So he used him for what he had. Some of you are being called. You ain't answering the call. Maybe it's because you feel too guilty for the things that you've done or the things that you're already doing. But trust me, you're going to have to give in sooner or later, because you don't want to be like snatched and convicted. It can be painful. A lot of us know about that. And Paul, he was blind. He was made blind. You were bought with a price, purchased with a preciousness, and paid for by Christ. Then do not yield yourselves up to become, in your own estimation, slaves to men, but consider yourselves slaves to Christ. So, brethren, in whatever station or state or condition of life each one was when he was called, let him continue and close to God. There let him continue with and close to God. Now concerning the virgins, the marriageable maidens, I have no command of the Father, but I give my opinion and advice as one who by the Lord's mercy is rendered trustworthy and faithful. I think then, because of the impending distress that is even now setting in, it is well, expedient, profitable, and wholesome for a person to remain as he or she is. Are you bound to a wife? Do not seek to be free. Are you free from a wife? Do not seek a wife. Do not seek divorce. If you do get a divorce, do not look for another wife. Oh, you see, that's where you get. Oh. when you just get confounded like that, you come across something like that in the Word. Sometimes you just feel grateful you haven't been there already. You just feel grateful. But then again, you know, Paul says this is his opinion, okay? It's his opinion. But even Yahushua said it himself, don't put away your wife, and the Most High as well. And people are, oh, what about Moses? These are unique situations, and Moses they stressed the guy out, like, so he had to write divorce bills. Like, the guy was just stressed out by the multitudes and the murmuring. And if you know this book, you know what I'm talking about. I shouldn't have to go into detail. So do not take a wife. But if you do marry, you do not sin in doing so. And if a virgin marries, she does not sin in doing so. I think I still touched on that yesterday. But if you do marry, you do not sin in doing so. And if a virgin marries, she does not sin. If she marries, she does not sin in doing so. Yet those who marry will have physical and earthly troubles, and I would like to spare you that. See, marriages ain't easy. You got to suffer in it. As Pastor Stephen Darby says, you want a good marriage? Suffer in it. But you see, so much people are so selfish. They're so distracted. They follow the blue light so easily. Like, they always think there's something better out there. They always think they deserve better, and I can understand that, because I was under those spells as well. A lot of us, we were under those spells, thinking there's something better, or there's more fun, or a bit like just getting bored now, basically, and wanting something new. The guys, we suffer from that a lot, wanting something new, because we're visual beings, like, you know what I'm talking about, guys. Yet those who marry will have physical and earthly troubles, and I would like to spare you that. Plus, you got the evil one prowling around like a lion, seeking to devour people. He's going to tear at your marriage. It's not something you take lightly. You have to keep working at it, which is why you should always make sure you're on the same page, like mentally, emotionally, like how to bring up children, your political views. You can't. It would be very difficult for you to be conspiracy minded, and your wife's like just totally oblivious. She doesn't believe in nothing. Like, she's like, oh, who are we gonna vote for? After a while, she will annoy the hell out of you, and you will annoy the hell out of her. So, like I said so many times, like, this is the mistake we make. We see something, we have, like, the emoji with the hearts in its eyes, and we're like, yeah, and we fall in love. We jump into bed, and then we hope everything's gonna work out fine. You try to be friends and get along afterwards, after you've already jumped into bed. The world's backwards. As I was saying a couple of days ago, the things, these spiritual things, these things of the Most High are foolishness to the world. So, something. No, let's not go there. Let's not go there. It's just like when we're on the same page, you understand, especially if you know this book, you understand as husband and wife that it's gonna get hard. It's the hard times which are going to matter, not the good times. A lot of people, they face bad times and they just want to split. Oh, something's going wrong. This is a disaster. Thinking that your marriage should be happily ever after, skipping in fields for the rest of the time. Courting, courting. Get to know each other first, and then you'll set foundations for your marriage. I mean, brethren, the appointed time has been winding. The appointed time has been winding down, and it has grown very short. From now on, let even those who have wives be as if they had none, and those who weep and mourn as though they were not weeping and mourning, and those who rejoice as though they were not rejoicing, and those who buy as though they did not possess anything, and those who deal with this world, overusing and enjoyments of this life, as though they were not absorbed by it. And if they had no dealings with it. For the outward form of this world, the present world order, is passing away. That's just deep, man. That's deep. Let's read it in the straight up KJV. But this I say, brethren, this time is short. It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none, and they that weep and they that weep as though they weep not, and they that weep as though they weep not, and they that rejoice as though they rejoice not, and they that buy as though they possess not, and they that use this world as not abusing it. For the fashion of this world passeth away. But I would have you without carefulness. He that is unmarried careth for the things that belong to the Father, how he may please the Father. But he that is married careth for the things that are of the world, that he may please his wife. There is difference also between a wife and a virgin. The unmarried woman careth for the things of the Lord, that she may be holy in the body and in spirit. But she that is married careth for the things of the world, how she may please her husband. Oh man, I'm struggling, because this is good stuff here, like my desire is to have you free from all anxiety and distressing care. The unmarried man is anxious about the things of the Lord, how he may please the Lord. But the married man is anxious about the worldly matters, how he may please his wife. And he's drawn into differing directions. His interests are divided, and he is distracted from his devotion to the Most High. That's what I've said. I've said this previously, haven't I? I have said this previously. He has woken up us single men for a specific reason, and he's kept us separate and set apart. He hasn't allowed us to continue our normal lives. He hasn't allowed it. We have been snatched. And the unmarried woman or girl is concerned and anxious about the matters of the Lord, how to be wholly separated and set apart in body and spirit. But the married woman has her cares centered and in earthly affections, how she may please her husband. And that this I speak for your own profit, not that I may cast a snare upon you, but for that which is comely, and that you may attend upon the Lord without distraction. But if any man think that he behaveth himself uncomely towards his virgin, if he pass the flower of her age, and need so require, let him do what he will. He sinneth not, let them marry. Nevertheless, he that standeth steadfast in his heart, having no necessity, but have power over his own will, and have so decreed in his heart that he will keep his virgin, doeth well. So that he that giveth her in marriage doeth well. But he that giveth her not in marriage doeth better. That's about fathers. The wife is bound by the law as long as her husband liveth. But if her husband be dead, she is at liberty to be married to whom she will, only in the Lord. But she is happier if she so abide after my judgment. And I think also that I have the Spirit of God. I'm going to go over that again in the Amplified because it's just so powerful. But if any man thinks that he is not acting properly toward and in regard to his virgin, that he is preparing disgrace for her or incurring reproach, in case she is passing her bloom of her youth, and if there is need for it, let him do what to him seems right. He does not sin, let them marry. But whoever is firmly established in his heart, strong in mind and purpose, not being forced by necessity, but having control over his own will and desire, and has resolved this in his heart to keep his own virginity, he is doing well. So also then, he, the father, who gives his virgin daughter in marriage does well, and he, the father, who does not give her in marriage, does better. A wife is bound to her husband by law as long as she lives, as long as he lives. If the husband dies, she is free to be married to whom she will, only provided that he is too in the Lord. But in my opinion, a widow is happier, more blessed, and to be envied if she does not remarry. Like Judith. And also, I think I have the Spirit of the Father. Sorry about that. That was just... I'm going to have to delete that and do all this all again. I might have to. But, you know, this is kind of what I'm about. Just doing it, just being me, just being raw. Please go and feel free to go and read it for yourselves. But just to follow on, this is what we got to do. This is where we're going now. Give yourself reminders. Stay strong. If you find a nice set apart woman, by all means, go ahead. I mean, I would love that for myself, but we are led by the Most High. If it's not happening, it's not happening. I can't think about that. I got to focus on doing my job. I got to focus on enduring, surviving, making sure I get there. But it just makes you think, as in the days of Noah, they were eating, drinking, and taking wives until the day that Noah entered the ark and sudden destruction came. It doesn't have to be a negative thing, you know that. It could be everyone realizing that they have a girlfriend, they have a boyfriend, giving their lives to the Most High and realizing doing things right now. Realizing that it's the last days, let's get married. Let's hope it means that. Let's hope it means that. Because I don't see much people getting married these days. But you do need certain reminders. Just stay on track. We're doing things the right way. We're going back to the laws, statutes, and commandments. This is my reminder. This sits on my mantelpiece. This was a gift from my mother when I decided, and I told her, look, Mum, I'm going to do this. I'm on this walk. I'm going to do this. How can I possibly turn back when I have to look at this every day? Once you're in, you're in. There's no turning back. Snatched, taken out of this world. And it's just up to me now, isn't it? It's just up to me. It's not about it being easy. Stay in the fight. And win. The determination to stay in the fight and to keep going, that's winning in itself. You know? And to stop doing other things, to realize that it's wrong to be convicted by things, that's winning. To decide, do you know what, I can't talk like that anymore. That's winning. Averting your eyes. It was a very difficult summer. It's like each year I do this. I dread summer coming. I really dread summer coming because you do a lot of looking down as a man of God. Sorry, a man of the Bible. I don't want to say man of God because as a man of the Bible, you do a lot of looking down. You do a lot of looking away. You do a lot of crossing the road. And I'm not really a mobile phone man anymore, so I try to carry a book for like when you're sitting on London transport in waiting rooms and stuff like that, like at the doctors and stuff. Especially during the summer. You're saving yourself, plus you have to let these ladies know that there are different guys out there. And ladies, you know, we're looking away. It's not because we're intimidated. It's not because we're incels. It's not because we're woman haters now. It's not because we're playing games and we want you to look at us first. It's because some of you, we know where our eyes are going to go, so we prefer not to look at you at all. Because what you're wearing is just, it's just too much. Or shall I say too little? Less is more, like. uh, but like we learn to flee, like we just learn to build barriers. We learn from our mistakes. Don't go there. We guard in our eyes, like. And I'm sorry, but there's strength in that. I mean, it sounds stupid. The things of this, the things of the Father sound stupid to earthly people, but it makes so much sense. I mean, if we can do this now as men, be righteous men, suppress our urges, agree to be single, agree to be celibate, not have the strength not to masturbate and look at porn. Imagine how easy it's going to be. Agreeing not to ogle women and try to chat them up and all this stuff, yeah. Imagine how much easier it's going to be when we're husbands. If you could do it when you're single, it'd be so much easier to do when you're a husband and a father. It's training and conditioning. This is what we're learning now. We're learning. Some things in this book, it sounds crazy, and it's like, come on, because we've been so far away. But as you do it, when you submit, the learning and the understanding comes with the submitting after submission. And you start to realize why. Because guys, you got to ask yourself, are you the kind of guy that you would like around your daughter when you have daughters? Well, I know a lot of you may even have 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old daughters. And they are your world. My brother's got 5-year-old daughter. You know? And when you look at that little girl, and just knowing what kind of men, what kind of dudes are out there, it does make you, it makes you think. Unless you're just a total and absolute hypocrite, which a lot of us are. It's fine for us to do it to other people's women, but when it comes to our women, it's we want to fight, we want to kill a dude for it. These kind of mentalities is what's going to get you killed. Yeah, I think I'm done. Thank you for listening. Have a good day. Make that change, guys. Make that change.